Rain pounded the docks like drums of war. Marcus stood frozen, face to face with his father. Elias Hill, the man who built an empire, the man who taught him to believe in fairness, now standing in the dark, hiding secrets. "Dad?" Marcus's voice cracked. "Tell me this isn't true." Elias looked away. Rain slid down his face like guilt. "I told you to stay out of this." Marcus stepped forward. "You knew Harper was dirty. You knew about the seizures, the false arrests." Elias's jaw tightened. "I knew enough." Marcus's eyes filled with disbelief. "Enough to stay quiet?" Elias sighed. "Enough to protect you." Lightning flashed. The water behind them glowed white for a heartbeat. Elias turned his back to him. "You think justice is clean, son? You think truth wins by shouting louder?" Marcus shook his head. "I think silence makes you part of it." Elias spun around. "You don't understand the world you're poking at." Marcus met his stare. "Then explain it." Elias hesitated. "Daniels came to me years ago. Said he could help expand the company. Contracts, court properties. Everything looked legal." Marcus clenched his fists. "And Harper?" "Harper was their insurance. Every case that went through his court fed the firm." Elias looked down. "And part of that money fed us." The silence was thunder. Marcus's breath caught. "You're saying our company, our name, was built on stolen lives?" Elias didn't answer. "You didn't have to." Marcus stepped back, disbelief turning into fire. "You're no better than them." Elias's voice broke for the first time. "I did what I had to do to keep you safe." Marcus shouted, "You destroyed everything to protect me." A sound broke the air. Footsteps. Metal clanging on wet steel. Both turned. 3 figures emerged from the shadows. Dark coats. Guns drawn. Daniels at the front. That same grin. Well, family reunion." Elias moved in front of Marcus. "Daniels, it's over." Daniels chuckled. "Over? You think we'd let a janitor's son ruin a billion-dollar chain?" Marcus glared. "Harper's finished, the truth's out." Daniels smirked. "Harper's a pawn. We've got dozens more." Elias whispered, "Marcus, run." Marcus shook his head. "I'm not leaving you." Daniels lifted his gun. "No one's leaving." A shot cracked through the night. Elias lunged forward. Marcus heard the sound before he saw the blood. His father fell. The world stopped moving. Marcus screamed his name. Elias gasped, voice weak. "Don't let it die here." Then silence. Daniels lowered his gun. Cold smile. One less witness. Marcus dropped beside his father's body. Rain mixed with red. He looked up slowly, eyes burning with something deeper than grief. Daniel stepped closer. "You're smart, kid. Walk away. Forget this." Marcus stood, voice steady. "No." Daniels tilted his head. "You got no proof. No backup. No way out." Marcus glanced at his father's coat. A small body cam light blinked faintly. He whispered, "You're wrong." Daniels frowned. Marcus pressed the side button. A red light blinked twice. Then steady. "Everything you said," Marcus whispered, "is already recorded." Daniels lunged. Marcus dove behind a crate as bullets tore through the wood. Sparks flew. Marcus crawled toward the stairs, clutching the camera. Daniels shouted, "You can't hide forever." Marcus sprinted across the dock, rain blinding him. He reached a steel ladder and climbed fast. His lungs burned. Below, Daniel's men spread out. Flashlights sliced through the darkness. At the top, Marcus reached an office window. He shattered it with his elbow and climbed inside. Water dripped off him as he slammed the door shut. He looked around. Maps. Shipping logs. Stacks of contracts labeled Daniels and Company. Holdings. All tied to the same courts. The same judges. The same stolen lives. He grabbed what he could. Documents. Hard drives. A laptop glowing with encrypted data. He plugged in his flash drive. Downloading fast. Footsteps echoed up the stairs. Closer. Louder. He glanced through the glass. Daniel's silhouette appeared in the rain. Gun raised. Marcus whispered to himself, "Come on, come on." The progress bar hit 100%. He yanked the drive out. Ran to the back exit. He burst into the storm, sprinting down the dock. Lightning flashed again, Daniels right behind him. Marcus slipped, hit the ground, rolled, and aimed his father's gun. Daniels stopped. "Grinned. You won't shoot me." Marcus's hands shook. "Try me." Daniels laughed. "You're your father's son after all." Marcus's finger trembled on the trigger. Rain hit hard. Daniels took one step forward, then the dock lights cut off. Total darkness. Only the sea roaring below. A voice echoed through the night. Familiar. Come. You really shouldn't underestimate the janitor's son. A single gunshot cracked the silence. Daniels fell. Marcus turned. In the distance, a shadow lowered a smoking gun. A woman's silhouette in the lightning flash. Trench coat, hair slicked by rain. Agent Reynolds. Marcus froze. You're alive? She stepped forward slowly. Barely. But I wasn't done cleaning this mess. He looked at her, soaked, shaking, holding the drive tight. We have everything. This can end it. Reynolds nodded. Maybe. If you trust the right people. Marcus frowned. What do you mean? She turned to him. I've got a contact in D.C. We leak this and the whole system burns. Marcus looked at his father's body across the dock. He whispered, then we burn it. Reynolds placed a hand on his shoulder. Her voice dropped low. Careful what you wish for. Because behind them, in the shadows of the pier, another pair of eyes was watching. A phone camera recording everything. A familiar face reflected in the screen. Judge Harper. He whispered into his phone, activate Plan C. If the Hill Boy wants war, we'll give him one. Thunder crashed. Lightning split the sky. The camera zoomed out, the dock swallowed by rain and secrets. Text appeared on screen. The morning came quiet. Too quiet. Marcus hadn't slept. He sat by the river, coat soaked, drive clutched in his hand. His father's words echoed in his head. Don't let it die here. Reynolds stood nearby, scanning the horizon. They'll come for us now, she said. Marcus nodded. Then we move first. The world had changed overnight. News reports, court scandals, whispers of missing funds and falsified cases. But no names yet. Not until Marcus uploaded what was on that drive. Reynolds turned to him. Once you leak this, there's no going back. Marcus looked at the sky. Gray. Heavy. Good. I stopped wanting to go back a long time ago. They headed for an abandoned newsroom downtown. Old equipment. Dusty cameras. One working satellite uplink. Marcus booted up the computer. Screen flickered. Lines of code appeared. Encrypted files. Reynolds typed fast. Her hands shook slightly. This is it. Once it's live, Harper's whole network collapses. Marcus stared at the progress bar creeping forward. But something felt wrong. The hum of the servers grew louder. Then a single message flashed across the screen. Access denied. Remote override detected. Reynolds cursed. They found us. Marcus spun around. Headlights glowed outside, engines idling. Dark SUVs lining the street. Get the data, she shouted. Marcus pulled the flash drive free, shoved it into his pocket. Gunfire shattered the windows. They dove for cover. Bullets ripped through old monitors. Marcus crawled behind a desk. Who are they? Reynolds fired back. Harper's private unit. They clean up leaks. Smoke filled the room, the smell of burning wires. Reynolds grabbed his arm. Basement exit. Move. They sprinted through the chaos, down the narrow stairway. The door burst open behind them. Voices shouting orders. Boots pounding steel. They reached the lower hallway. Flooded with water. Electric sparks from old cables danced across the floor. Reynolds hesitated. Marcus shouted, "Jump it." She did. They hit the far wall, breathless. Marcus pulled out his phone. The drive's data still intact. He started the upload again, this time to multiple channels, multiple networks. Red light blinking. Sending everything. Reynolds smiled faintly. You're your father's son. Marcus shook his head. No, I'm something else. A door slammed open. Daniels. Bleeding from his shoulder, but alive. Round 2, kid. Marcus froze. Reynolds aimed too late. Daniels fired first. She fell against the wall, gasping. Marcus screamed, firing back. Daniels staggered, hit the railing, and fell through the open shaft below. Silence followed. Marcus ran to Reynolds. Blood on her hands. Stay with me, he whispered. She smiled weakly. You finished what I started. He shook his head. Not yet. She reached up, pressed the edge of her badge into his palm. For when they call you a criminal again, she whispered. Show them what real law looks like. Then her hand went still. Marcus sat there, surrounded by smoke and static. The upload bar hit 100%. Every file. Every video. Every hidden deal, now public. Across the city, screens lit up. Courtrooms. News stations. Phones. Social feeds. He whirled, saw everything. Judge Harper's empire, his lies, his network of corruption, exposed in real time. In the courthouse, Harper watched from his office. His hands trembled as the anchor spoke his name. Breaking news, federal investigation underway into Judge Harold Harper. He slammed the remote, glass shattering. Then his phone rang. A known number. He answered. Who is this? A familiar voice replied. Justice. The line went dead. That night, Marcus returned to the dock. The rain was lighter now. He stood where his father had fallen. Moonlight reflecting off the water. He placed his father's badge beside the gun. Then whispered, "It's done." But behind him, a black car rolled to a stop. Door opened. A tall man stepped out. Dark suit. Earpiece flashing. "Marcus Hill?" he called. Marcus turned slowly. "Who's asking?" The man held up a folder stamped Federal Witness Protection. "We need to talk." Marcus frowned. "What now?" The agent said calmly, "You just declared war on the wrong people." Harper was a front. The real power's deeper. Washington level. Marcus stared at him, silent. Rain hit harder. The man extended his hand. "You want to finish this? You'll need us." Marcus looked back at the water, then at the badge in his hand. His father's voice echoed faintly in his head. "Truth will always cost more than lies." He took a deep breath, then reached for the agent's hand. "All right," he said quietly. "Let's burn the rest of it." The camera zoomed out slowly. Sirens echoed in the distance. City lights flickered like broken promises. A single caption appeared across the screen. "The war for justice has just begun."